Central London becomes the stage for one of the largest political demonstrations in recent memory. More than 100,000 people gather for a march called Unite the Kingdom. At its helm, Tommy Robinson, the far-right activist whose name has become synonymous with controversy, confrontation, and division. Robinson, born Stephen Yaxley Lennon, has been a lightning rod in British politics for more than a decade. He rose to prominence as founder of the English Defence League, mobilizing street protests against Islam. His career has been marked by arrests, bans and convictions, ranging from assault to contempt of court. Earlier this year, he walked free from prison after serving a sentence for defying a court order in a libel case involving a Syrian refugee. For his critics, he is a dangerous agitator. For his supporters, he is a truth-teller silenced by the establishment. But this march was different. Bigger, louder, and with unexpected global attention. Elon Musk, one of the most powerful and controversial businessmen in the world, appeared by video link, telling the crowd that Britain needs a change of government and calling for Parliament to be dissolved. His message stunned many and underlined the international reach of this moment. Musk's appearance here comes after a turbulent role in American politics. In 2024, he became one of Donald Trump's biggest backers, contributing more than $250 million to Republican campaigns. Musk's intervention triggered strong reactions in Westminster. Some MPs called it reckless interference in British democracy.
When a foreign billionaire calls on our citizens to fight against our ancient democracy, I know this is met by the vast majority with a shake of the head. And that's because we are, in truth, a tolerant country.
Others warned that his words, however controversial, reflected a growing sense of political frustration. The Prime Minister struck a firm tone. Condemning the violence, he insisted that Britain's future would not be dictated by outsiders. On the other side, across Whitehall, 5,000 counter-protesters rallied under the banner of Stand Up to Racism. They stood shoulder to shoulder, rejecting Robinson's message. Diane Abbott, one of Parliament's longest-serving MPs, told them that racism and fascism are not new, and neither is the determination to defeat them.
We are united.
And you said this is about women's safety and girls. Obviously the other side say this is about that issue for them too. What's your response?
They're talking nonsense. That's my response. They're talking nonsense. And it's a dangerous lie to try and say that men of colour are a threat to women. It's a very dangerous lie. And I think we need to squash it.
Obviously, we've seen the protests around the hotels, housing asylum seekers, and the government's response. Do you have a message for the government on how they should be responding to these protests?
My message to the government is they want to keep people safe, and we need to be clear that these demonstrations around hotels are racist demonstrations. We have to be clear about that.
And finally, we've had a message go out telling Muslim Londoners maybe to stay at home, maybe it's not safe for them. What do you think people are feeling when there's thousands of people gathering with England flags? Is that intimidating?
Well, I think particularly children and women should try and stay safe, but I'm not going to be intimidated by people. I'm not.
For many British Muslims, the march was more than politics.
Islamophobic and anti-migrant rhetoric, but we know it's not Muslims or migrants responsible for political and economic failings. It's people with power and wealth like Elon Musk and Nigel Farage who are amplifying far-right conspiracy theories.
The Metropolitan Police prepared for the worst, deploying more than 1,500 officers backed by reinforcements from across the country. Despite barriers and sterile zones, violence broke out. Officers were assaulted, pelted with bottles and poles. 9 people were arrested. For the Met, it was a day of high tension, balancing the right to protest with the duty to protect. This march is the latest chapter in a movement that has grown steadily over the past decade. Once dismissed as fringe, Robinson's rallies now draw mass crowds. Immigration may be the headline issue, but frustration with politicians, courts, and political elites is just as central. Will marches like this stop people coming to Britain? Almost certainly not. But they may reshape how the issue is debated. From asylum seekers housed in hotels to channel crossings, immigration is one of the defining battlegrounds of British politics. Robinson and his supporters believe they are shifting the conversation, forcing politicians to listen.
Surely that's wrong. Why I wouldn't skip on a boat and go to another country and hop off and expect to be well looked after. But apart from that, this is just United Kingdom.
As the crowds disperse, the questions linger. How significant was Musk's intervention? And does it signal new alliances across borders? What does this mean for immigrants fearful of becoming targets? Will Britain's politics harden under weight of anger, or will communities find a way to unite? And perhaps most importantly, is this the beginning of a new political era, or the climax of one man's campaign? Let us know in your comments.